has a place to go with it. It has enough bulk to get rid of it, it's fine. But it's the gaskets under the door.
That too. Yep.
That's
Yep.
the good one.
Yep. But the stairs are in.
Oh,
They did finally do stairs. I mean, they started them on the wrong side. They were putting them in wrong, so I stopped them. Put them to the other side. All Scott, they corrected everything. The stairs are nice. They're in. I mean, they do eat up a lot of real estate in there, but at least they're on the right side. And you can walk into the pumps. And then they did do the grade for the pumps. Cut them slivers and wedges to get the catwalk up to the edge. I mean, there's still a hole there, but you got access in anyway. Fixed the flat door on the top, but the window I don't think has been fixed. I mean, there's still a mess down there. They have to clean that. It's got iron.
What about like our heater and stuff too, really? Like,
there's no heater in there right now.
well, I figured as much, like, until they get all that stuff tidied up.
Well, I got a bid. That was a separate thing. I had a guy.
But I mean, we can't really do that until all that other shit.
Correct. I figured. I mean, right now we have the drain on the outside running. And we have a couple little heaters in there, but there's not the ungodly amount of water running into those pumps like there ever was before.
So the grade on the south side of that pad, what were they going to do with that? Remember they were talking about putting a knee wall or something to divert it? Anything happening with that?
That's kind of going to be in the discussion after reviewing this and going back and talking whether we want that wall, whatever it is on the south.
Or are they going to run it across the pad?
Yeah, we still got to determine that. I mean, they're going to rectify it as much as they can, but they're not going to tear it all back.
What price are we gonna go with for the winch?
Yeah, let's decide something there.
Yeah, right, 15?
What does a decent winch to replace it with?
They're gonna barter with us.
Oh yeah, they're going to say, oh, it was old. That's irrelevant.
It works.
But it's going to take more to replace it.
Yes.
It works.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I think 10
Just
grand's
replace
fair.
it.
I think
Yeah,
10
I think
grand's
we just
fair.
need to come up with a good number.
I'd say start with 15.
I mean,
We come down to 10.
Yeah. Well, I think they're in a position to where we state the price, and I think we state the price, and that's the price. I don't think this is a negotiation scenario.
No, we still owe money.
I mean, we owe them money, and we got the checkbook, and they took the winch without permission. I mean, they left everything else. I mean, if they were going to...
But if you put a big price
They
on
left the trolley and all
you're either
that?
gonna match it or they're gonna show up with the old.
Correct.
They left the trolley and all that too?
Yeah, we got the trolley and everything
Oh, you
out.
got the trolley?
Oh,
You
absolutely.
missed the winch.
We're just missing the head.
Okay.
So it's not like, I mean, if they were going to take any recycling, they would have took the trolley. I mean, there's where not money now, but they just took the head. But based on all the conversations over time, I just don't believe that ended up in recycling. That's new today. That's just
Whether it did or not, we either need a winch or
it's in somebody's garage.
$15,000.
One or the other.
Whoever removed it said, I got dibs on that.
Yeah.
In a demo scenario, I got dibs on that.
Exactly.
So are they down to one final bill for us, one invoice left? Is that what we're at?
It should be. There shouldn't be anything else.
So then we should have the winch, everything should be taken care of on this last one.
Yes. Yep, and they're not close. I mean, Scott's still, I asked him about that on Monday. I said, is there any bills you plan on sending through? Because if you are, then we're way too premature for that. So, I don't know. I mean, if you want to go to 10s, I guess decide. I think 10s. And if you want to go for 15, go for 15.
Hey, look at what Mark just found.
That's the winch that we used to have, and that's the price.
Oh, you found it?
It's 20 grand.
Oh, okay, 20 grand.
Is that the same?
6-ton, 3-phase.
That's a new one.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
So 15.
Ours is a 6-ton, 3-phase.
Want to replace it, John.
But do we need extra junk laying around?
No, but if they're going to pay us,
At 15.
whether we buy a new winch or not,
15.
if they took our used one, it's going to take a new one to replace it. If it's 20 grand, it's 20 grand.
Yeah, well,
Who took the winch?
that's a little shy.
K2
We
said
probably have
someone there, yeah. When they redid the pump house, it came up missing, and we did get a new crane, but that was the present one.
Oh, I see.
And they didn't have permission to take it.
That's kind of crazy. I remember
Everything
the last meeting I came to, you guys were talking about that. And then right afterwards, I saw a K2 Civil truck across the street at the gas station. I thought, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's put 15 on it, see what they do.
Oh, really?
I can't wait the hard way.
Send it back to necessary replacement.
It's not a cost plus job here.
How come you won't ask 19 for it?
15 feet, that was all it's got.
Yeah.
We had, what, 30?
Well, you're looking at HPID, and we're probably at least a 20 foot from the floor to where the head is, the bottom of the head.
Maybe that
We could pull that bid.
rethink that and see what number they come at us with, and then we'll say, well, you owe us this much for our winch.
Yeah. Well, aren't they going to hit us for like 120 or something like that?
At least.
Yeah.
For what?
That's
For the
what I
fire.
heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just wait until we get the last bill.
I think so too.
And tell them either show up with our winch or take 20 grand off or 15 or whatever we decide on.
Yeah.
When do they usually send bills? Like, are they like Monday before a board meeting, or are they like a Friday before?
Monday or Tuesday before the
That's
board
when the
meeting.
finals
That's when
come.
I always get them.
Well, we ain't gonna see one by January. So
I
it's
asked that,
probably
any more billing coming in for 2022, and he said no. So.
No.
What do they got left? Did you get that overhead door working?
That's working, yes. The overhead door's working. The window, I don't believe they did anything with that. The far window leaks when it rains.
But y'all were able to get in and do the pump stuff that you needed to do?
No.
Oh,
No.
you still haven't
No.
been able to do that?
No, we got a mess down there. Yeah. No, we got the pickups loaded with all of our stuff. We just
Well, I thought
can't-
with the door getting done, you were able to do that, but.
Well, then they got in there and started working on the catwalks and the steps. So I mean, they were in there.
Yeah.
So I mean, but they paid the price. It was like minus 20 in that building the whole time they were in there building those.
That bad?
Oh, it's cold in there, man.
Well, I'm sure, but it can't be much any colder than outside.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
colder than
Concrete
outside.
structure?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got your ground heat stuff coming
Yeah.
up in there.
There's no heat in there.
Yeah.
You're out of the damn wind.
I thought y'all had portable heaters in there.
We do. We have little ones in there. We're not running big heaters right now. We're just running ones.
They can bring their own portable heaters.
Yeah, they did too. They had but they unplugged our heaters and froze up the bottom of the pumps again because it was blowing their breaker and they had to have heat. It's just been
Yeah. Wonderful.
That was 19.2.
God, I didn't think it got below zero much when I was going.
But we should have a bid in something, or I can get it from maybe from Anderson Crane. Anderson Portland is the one that bid the winch setups. They're the ones that did that.
It might be.
So if there's something in there that'll be a quote for a new, because that's what we compared the new cranes with the with the chain hoist.
Oh, look, it might be.
But that's a year ago price too.
Yeah, 3
Or more.
Or
Well, it's not a 3-phase.
Rotophase?
It's yep. That's what it's a rotophase. So we're gonna wait until we know what their final is, and then
Bill, and then we nail it.
Yeah.
I think you got the right idea to call Anderson or whatever.
Came in through FedEx actually, but it's a permit for BNSF. I figured you knew what that was about, but it came from Amy.
oh, from him. Yeah, this is their this is just their access because they cross.
Why did they send FedEx?
I don't know. FedEx. I don't know why they did that.
probably just make
Is there
Well,
anything that needs to be signed?
No.
Okay, it's just a permit.
Yeah.
Yeah. This shouldn't have to be done. What did she say?
2020. 42. 2042.
2042. So yeah.
Okay.
Just because they're crossing our right of way, or
Oh, is that what it's about?
crossing Bureau right of way to get to their tracks. It's just kind of a permission slip to have free access to their rail line.
Any other issues you see with the minutes?
Well, they're getting the street well ready to put wider road down.
They're doing 8-foot shoulders on both sides.
8 feet?
8 feet from the Elson River Bridge to Road 8.
Nice.
Oh, to Road 8?
Yep.
Oh, great.
That's where they're stopping.
Why are they going on 8? Why don't they go?
In the budget, I guess they did their tally for wrecks, accidents.
10 would be better for the trucks to get at least off the edge of the road.
Yeah.
Because, you know, with the 2 grain deals,
Mm-hmm.
you know, 10 foot would give the trucks enough room to get off the side. Really, they probably should have a center lane there by Road 4.
I think you're talking to the wrong people, Joe.
I told them all that. I mean, we talked about safety concerns with the guardrail at the Huntley River Bridge, and
Of course, they're gonna, why do they plan on replacing Huntley Bridge?
I have no idea. They're only a 30% design phase from the river to 8, so I mean, this is going to be 2-3 years.
I moved to approve the minutes.
Nice second.
They moved seconded to accept the minutes, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion is carried. Those are warrants.
Got a question with Archie's on November and December. Is that just a mistake or
Say that again.
on Archie
Mm-hmm.
payment for November, December? Is that a mistake or is that just?
No. His payroll? Are you talking about
Yeah.
Archie Randall? Yeah, he just cashed out some vacation.
Oh, gotcha. So
Yeah.
that's why it was bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
You got the head gates in, I take it up.
Yeah, they came quicker than I wanted them to. They weren't supposed to be here that quick.
You got them under lock and key.
Yep, they're all stored and put away. And
You got any of them for sale?
We bought extras.
We bought a couple extra, Cody.
Hmm?
We bought a couple extra.
I know. We got a couple.
we can sell them. I mean, we just reorder them.
You gotta mark them up.
No, you don't.
I might need one too.
We have, yeah. I mean, we have sold them.
Are these
It's
Watermans
just
or
like
are
we paid for.
here.
Yeah.
they Waterman or the screw type?
XCAD.
Huh?
They're XCADs.
Oh,
Screw
okay.
gates, yes.
Screw gates.
And then we have like 6, I don't remember how many, toggle gates too.
What size you get?
12, 15, and 18.
How much are 15?
Toggles or screws?
Screws?
Who's Rocky Mountain propane?
I'd have to
Is
look
that
at
cheap
that.
propane?
Yeah.
Huh?
No
Yeah.
back.
Is that your propane?
Yeah. No wacky.
That's the shop propanes.
Is that good propane?
That burns.
Is it?
Cheaper?
I don't know.
Oh, is he cheaper?
I don't think it's got the huge overhead that
Yeah, it is a little cheaper.
Is he?
he's usually a dime or 20 cents under.
And then the Town and Country was my propane, office propane.
Because they own the tank.
So what you got
Yes.
Philip, like that?
What's that?
On these Phillips? You have Phillips?
This is once a year.
Oh.
This is once a year in the shop, probably twice, I suppose.
Is that 1,000?
That's 1,000 over there, yeah.
It won't make it through over there.
Well, we burn wood too. If we used it solely, we'd probably be filling that thing twice in 2 months.
Wow.
Oh, we got it from them, is that?
Oh, well.
What was that?
$2.20 a price a gallon.
For propane?
Yeah.
Holy.
I think that's what I just paid for it. I had to get my tank filled at home. That was $220. And that's a
Well, I
valid.
think Somerville was 208.
Yeah.
Was it that bad?
Well, it was
Yeah,
$210
we got
if you
it
paid
filled.
off in 10 days.
Yeah.
205 in the summer.
It was $205.
Jesus.
But I don't know, I mean, we're still, a year ago, we looked at buying a tank for here and getting off that,
Tanks got ridiculous.
They're all
We should have bought it.
They're not, we should
They're
have.
$4,000
Yeah,
now.
Twice, they went up twice.
Yeah.
Used to be about two
Andy was
for
going to
the-
sell it to us
I
for
bought one 5 years
$1,200.
ago. It was $18.50 a new one. 1,000
Yeah.
gallons.
We could have got one for $1,200 last year from Andy.
Yeah.
No,
Up
used one.
500. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, reconditioned,
Well, yeah.
new paint, painted. Should have did it.
Sure should have. I should have done it at home too.
I would have bought mine 20 years ago, $500.
Yeah.
Buck a gallon, I don't know.
Or less.
That's crazy.
I remember buying 1,000, one of the thousands I got for $500.
How many gallons are them big tanks you got down there? How many gallons? You have big tanks? Propane tanks?
Which, at the
By your
house, there?
silos? Over there.
Oh, by the grain bin?
Oh, yeah, grain bins, gallons.
That's 14,000, 15,000.
14 or 15,000 gallons?
That big one, yeah. That's been a good investment.
Started a propane business.
Well, that's what helped Abby get started.
Oh, from that.
I put it in.
So what was it in Valley? Propane?
$220.
What's this money?
$210 if you paid for it on spot or within 10 days. Which I will not be doing.
So no use shopping anywhere then,
Huh?
no sense in shopping.
Mm-mm. Doesn't sound like it. Stockman account was a little high this month, but my system award management that I have to renew every year to be able to get these federal funding stuff. And it's like $600 a year, but they had a deal. If I do it for 3 years, I can do it for $1,500. So I just took it and saved us $400 by not renewing it every year.
The only problem with that is they'll come out with a new system next year.
I better still be registered for it if they do. Yeah.
Well, they'll do a better one if you want it, you gotta pay extra. You never did say what the head gates were, 15.
The 15 head gate? 15
I'll
inch?
have to look.
Oh.
I mean, they're.
The bill's in there, Willie, if you want to look at it. It's B.A. Fisher.
Does it have
It's
a
in,
base?
it's in the checks,
Does it
the
have
bill. Yeah.
It should have a
Yeah.
breakdown.
Did you say about 1,250, 1,500?
Something like that,
I don't know, that was for also. Such a big gate for that, too.
Yeah, right there.
About 8,900.
Price, 12 to 15, 729, 12. Yep. $730 with a 72-inch frame.
I suppose I better get one. I better see what I need first.
How many extras did we get of each two?
Yeah. Which, I mean,
You got 12 inch, 14, 15s, 6, 18.
by the time we end up depleting that, you know, I mean, we could always do another order if somebody wants it.
God damn, ain't that high?
Yeah, they're not as much as I thought. You know, they were going to go up, but you know, I think a 15 a year and a half ago you can get for right around 5.5, 550.
Screw one?
Yep.
Oh.
So what's the difference in what you ordered from Travis Kelsey?
He's the toggle gates. He's the little
Flip gates.
Oh.
slider gates.
Okay.
These are canal gates.
Are those just as pricey?
No, them.
They're about 2 feet.
Yeah, roughly in there. Yeah, they kind of.
I think I need 2 of them.
Equals of with what?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
He's making a list.
Might need 3.
like 12s or 15s or 18s.
12 or 15. I think one place I can get by at 12 is if it's 15.
B.A. Fisher has a plant in
You laugh at that.
Idaho Falls now, so they're a little quicker.
Close.
Yeah. They're still in Boise, Idaho Falls too. Assemblies in Idaho Falls.
Go ahead, Emmett. No, I'm good.
Sure.
Yeah. I hate to admit it, but I ate a half a dozen of Krispy Kreme on my drive home from Omaha. Had enough donuts. Was eating my feelings. Do we still have a Krispy Kreme here? Or did it close?
It's
It
up on the
is.
wall.
It is open still.
Is it still open?
Yeah.
It used to be over on 24th or on,
Is Burlington
King.
Northern gonna continue on with this Montana Railroad lease instead of bus?
I don't know.
what's that on?
That $1 a year lease.
Dollar a year lease with Montana Railroad, but with Burlington Northern now taking it over.
Is it gonna change? Yeah.
What's that for?
Our lease agreement, we had to
Lease
pay them
agreement.
something, right? So you guys agreed on $1, is that what the deal was?
What is that at?
Oh, it's up by where the head gate is.
Oh,
It's the head end.
Dead end,
When they flopped agreement, when Bureau came in, the river was on, or the canal was on the riverside. So what they did is they did a lease agreement flop. So then that put the railroad between the canal and the river.
oh.
So the canal wasn't next to the river. That was early days.
We pay them $1 a year for that.
$1 a year.
It costs more to print the check.
Well, it's probably one of them deals that's a lease. And, you know, there's a free deal that you could claim.
I would imagine we'd get that from BNSF next year, Dennis.
yeah, that's what it should be.
Yeah, it should just roll over automatically.
That Ranger.
Would there be a
Well, that's what he's wondering. Will there be something new? Will it be a?
Let's just be able to pull something up and see what it says.
Oh, you mean, do I have
should say-
something?
And vacation.
I'll
days.
pull up.
Sometimes they just give you 100
Basically,
years.
Yeah, we've got a lot of BNSF stuff.
Yeah, we just-
So I'll look through it. I mean, it goes back for years and years and years.
Zero.
Huh?
Do they cash that dollar check?
They do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could just give a dollar bill, John, and it'd save us all money.
Anybody else any concerns with the warrant?
60 cents, 55 cents.
I move we approve the warrant and, debit card and
Then move the second to accept the warrants and the Platinum Bank. Account, I guess. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. What are they doing down by the Pompey's Interchange Railroad?
The county is removing a bridge that is disheveled. And I didn't know anything about it until it was already being removed. The one below, they're removing the bridge. I don't know who requested that to get removed.
It's gonna be gone, there's nothing replacing it?
There's nothing replacing it, it's completely removed. I learned about that last week. Andy called and says, well, we're removing a bridge down there, and I was just wondering if we could dump the concrete in your pile. I said, well, what bridge? Well, it's on a, he didn't say drain, he said it's down below the overpass at Pompey's. And I said, well, that's our drain. Oh, it is? Yeah. So I said, so what are you doing? He said, complete removal, and then we talked about it, and we'll put it back, but I didn't know anything about it. I don't even know who requested it. And I don't even know who.
That's a county road, right?
It is county.
Really?
Yep,
I'm sure years ago, it's never been abandoned.
yep.
They're gonna replace it, they're not gonna.
They're not replacing it. It's
So they'll
complete.
have to.
Fix it.
Is that next to Loretta's place then, or Loretta's?
No, it's right underneath.
South of the
Train on
tracks.
railroad runs under the overpass right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that bridge just kind of over to the west, southwest right there.
Been a long time since I've been.
Evidently, they've been using it, but I think the railroad's been driving across that.
Was that an us deal over here on Road 14, like a drain ditch culvert or something? What are they doing by Boogers?
Oh, okay, so that's Warden Water. So basically, they have a lot of issues. I met them down there last week, because their locations and then their depths. So to get to Boonders, that's on a service, that's the end of the line. So the curb stops and all the valves and gate valves coming back up in front of Hanson's, in front of Dots, they're all just old. So what they're doing is they're going to take a water line, a 6-inch water line, and they're going to bore it from just west of Dot's driveway. There's some marks on the ground. They need to put, because they have to get in compliance too, so they're gonna put a hydrant in. And then they're gonna bore across to the south side. next to the spill end of FO8.
Yeah.
So they're gonna bore 6.5 feet on the stripe, well, just on the edge of asphalt to save the expense of that. And then they're gonna bore down and they're gonna kind of take it over into the county right away in the field.
Now, is that to get more water and more water, or is that?
That's to
take
replace the
system-
services from Dots down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it'd
Dots
be,
on city.
yes, yeah.
How
And
much-
Boonder's
So they'll
too.
abandon the old.
Boonder's on city?
Yeah, Boonder is, but it doesn't, it's just failing. They can't get water down. Yeah, that's the last
I
stop.
didn't know Boonder was on.
Yep. So they're gonna bore, and then they're gonna bore under the first drain. At the end of FO8 spill, they're gonna go 6.5 foot below invert with their bore, 6-inch fuse pipe, and then they're gonna stay at that grade, and then they're gonna go under West Arrow Creek.
Oh, I thought maybe they were putting a water system in there to feed the water.
So they're going under our canal?
They'll go under the drain. Yep, 6.5 feet, which it's Warden Waters engineer, Great West
Oh.
is doing it.
So does it stay on the north side all the way then?
South side. It comes to the south side right past the driveway, right past Dot's driveway.
I mean, there's not a lot of room on that south side.
There's not a lot of room.
A road, and then,
Yeah.
but there's 6 feet below our checks and all that then.
Well, there's no checks there. The check ends west, so that head gate ends, or that head
Where
gate's
does
up
that-
at the check.
Well, there's a
Does
check.
anybody
at
want to get out of that? Dot does.
Yeah, they do.
There's a bunch of irrigation going on there.
It just
The
crosses
check, the
I.
check is right in front of Dot's house, and that's the last spot.
Yeah.
But that services Valley Cyan and
Okay.
what's their name? Priest
Yes.
that bought Mrs. Cyan's old place.
Yeah.
That services all that ground.
Oh, okay.
So all that water goes down a little concrete ditch paralleling I in front of. Yeah. But they're not even going to be any close. I mean, they'll be next to and below the invert of the spill of the drain until it ties into the drain running north-south. They'll go under that one, and then they'll go into West Arrow Creek. But they're going to be far enough. They're still going to be in the county right away. So they're going to be in the county right away, boring down 6.5 feet below invert. And then when that's all done, they're going to give us as builds and whatnot. So then we'll have facts on file. So if anything ever happens, and then they're going to go to the drain on the other side where that bale went in last year. They're gonna fill that ditch there first, the spill, just to get set up, and then they're going to bore under I over to Boonder's, and then there'll be a corp there. And nothing will be surfaced there. The curb stop will be on the north side, but they'll fix that drain back up on the bottom. And Texley's boring it. Cop Construction's the one doing it though.
But they're going to where Roger lives or where his son lives?
His shop, the son.
Oh, just the old Schrader place.
Yeah.
The old Schaefer.
Shavers. Yeah,
Yeah, the old
yeah,
Schaefer.
that one will be,
Roger's house not on city water.
no, Rogers is over there.
Okay.
So speaking of bridges, on Needham's Bridge,
Yep.
who came up with 8 inches above what it was?
Kind of what we looked at as far as what we needed for our max flow in the canal. And that was 8 inches on the low side. So that's gonna gain more on the high side. Because the low point is the southwest corner.
Well, I mean, it was pretty low, I thought.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
We would touch the bridge on that corner.
Well, what I'm saying is what I read in our specs in one of the Bureau Recs is the bottom of the bridge is on the highest side of our bank. So that has to be more than 8 inches.
Well, I guess without a grade rod but that bridge is not set true anyway.
No, I just thought it had to be lifted up a little higher.
Yeah. And the other one will. They're basically going to put a new one next to it.
Oh, they're doing 2 there then?
Well, they need access. They got to leave access. So what
Take
that's
the one
going
out,
to after.
half of the,
Yeah.
but they're gonna raise it, the way I understand it, that much
Yeah.
more.
And then that'll straight line Road 9 too. See, right now you go down Road 9 and then you kind of have that little hook. That'll straight line. There's an existing bumpings there from back in the day. There was a bridge there before. So they're just basically gonna put the new bridge back in the original spot where the original
Right.
bridge was before Needham put that bridge in.
So is Needham's paying for it or the other guy?
The two,
The both.
it's a deal.
Is that one him and Van Lucian were tying
Yeah,
up?
yep.
Oh.
Yeah, now Van Lucian's out of it.
Sure.
It's.
Huh, okay.
So getting back to that, one of the railroad or the highways taken out down there,
Mhm.
you think it's worth a trip down there, make sure they clean that good?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because if they leave a bunch of junk in there, we gotta go down and,
They won't. And Andy stopped in here last week too, and he's the one doing it. So
Okay.
he's not gonna be doing it.
treasurer's report.
We did get the BO8 siphon funds dropped into the account finally. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
$59,271.90 was dropped on the 9th of December.
Just barely.
Yeah, they said they'd have it by 2022 and they barely got it in there. The latest trial balance I've received was the October 31st, and our assessments that came in for that month was $5,715. We're still not done with 2022. There's still quite a bit out there. I think we've got almost 30,000 still left to collect for 2022. And so next month we'll start seeing the 2023. Actually, I'm saying that wrong. We'll see 2022s. It's 2021s that's still trickling in.
Yeah.
I always want to be a year ahead of them. Huh?
People didn't pay their water.
They just haven't paid their taxes yet.
Or is there any other protest? Or is that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did they get water since they didn't pay the taxes?
Well, if they're not paid next water
Yeah,
season, they
see,
won't.
the second half
Yeah.
is what we're talking about.
Gotcha.
And so they paid the first half, they've got the water.
It's their
But
second
they
half.
can't get water next year until they pay
A
the
full
second
year at
half,
least.
and then they have to pay the first half.
Yeah,
We
you have to
did-
pay your taxes here regardless.
Yeah.
And they put it in probate or whatever, wherever it goes. You still have to pay it. And like us, HPID, we get our money no matter what, if it's under protest or
Yeah.
what. Because we're protesting ours.
But you gotta pay them in full to do it under protest.
Hmm?
Right, yeah.
Oh,
You didn't like the reevaluation?
You know? There's other issues.
Our O&M cash account balance today is $89,818, which is really good for the end of the year. Our bills are paid, payroll's paid. I don't know if you guys want to discuss any transfers of that next year into 2023. I know in the past, if there was money left at the end of the year, you guys usually moved it.
is there any money left this year?
I've got $89,818 in our O&M cash account right now.
Oh,
Typically in the past, Mark, when I started, Liz was having to transfer money out of other accounts to make the year-end bills and payrolls and stuff. So now, mind you, we didn't put 220 in infrastructure this year. We put 110 in it. So we increased our spending amount by 110, but still good. Looking at our budget at the end of the year, we're $61,000 over budget according to our budget. But $82,000 was spent on head gates, screens, and those things are not budgeted.
well, I see you have expenses not budgeted.
Yes, those are expenses that we
That's
have.
a lot
It's
there.
not on our budget. Mhm.
209,000.
Yes, but that does include
Pump.
no, it includes engineering. The riverbank stabilization stuff in there you see is just engineering. I have that tracked in the account. Let me tell you about the BO8 siphon. So totally in reimbursements, we've received $69,002.53 from that. We spent, well, as you can see, $96,877. So HPID ultimately was left with a bill of $27,874 for BO8 siphon after the reimbursements, which isn't bad.
Nope.
Normally we would have to pull that out of construction. We've not had to pull anything. So we've done well.
No, we were gonna pull out of something before all this.
Yes.
So-
yes.
I mean,
We've
your
done well.
your 89,818 that includes that refund or the reimbursement, correct?
Yes.
So I mean, you're
No.
still looking at the difference of that was still left in the account
Yeah.
with no transfers. So We're on the right track. that
Yeah, I
way.
think for the most part, looking at comparable years since I've been here, we've been up in some things, the maintenance area with head gates, things like that, but otherwise, honestly, the bills have been kept down at a minimal.
Which is
been
unbelievable.
up. Fuel's been up, but that's been out of our control.
No, I mean, for a high inflation year.
Yeah. So
Fuel almost got down half reasonable there last week.
Well, it has, yeah.
I
Diesel
feel
went
that for
under
less than
$5,
50.
didn't it?
Huh?
Diesel went under $5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And regular is under $3.
yeah.
I was looking at the board. Low sulfur diesel got down. Well, actually, the April deal got down to 267 or 268.
So you're saying we're like 63,000 over budget then for next year, or is that?
No, next year no, we're good. We're just this year after all's said and done.
Oh,
Yeah, we're showing that we're 61,000 over budget, but mind you, 69,000 of it was BOA.
So going through these, we're like dues and subscriptions are 988%. What is that? What's that count?
New bills that came in for dues and subscriptions that wasn't being coded properly.
200% on taxes?
Yeah, our property taxes, yeah, they went up.
That went up.
Remember,
Okay.
we were paying $50 a year. Now we're paying $150.
Right. I remember that.
Or 100.
No, it's 75. Each half is 75.
Oh,
They really went up.
from 100.
Administration in general, up a
Admin in general, yep. We need to look at that one a little bit closer next year. But again, we got our commissioner reimbursements come out of that. Well, I mean, I've got so many codes underneath that admin in general.
The operating supplies, what do we got going on there? 6,100.
Yeah, we're over budget a little bit there for operating supplies, but I think it was the little things that were being bought. More than anything. Huh?
Thumbtacks and pencils.
No, operational supplies is going to be shop stuff. It's our office.
Yeah, I understand.
But I know they've been working on their inventory out there too and getting.
Which I mean, look
Get
at
that.
a cutoff wheel. The price of one
Right.
cutoff wheel's $12 now.
Right.
We were buying those for $5.50, $6.
Oh wow. Inflation.
And we tried to buy the cheaper ones too, and they don't last. You can't do nothing with
You
those.
still got a bunch of that depth that stupid bought?
We're burning through it. How much depth's out there, you think, Mark, in the shed now?
Not much.
Not much. We're finally getting through it. Yeah, we had mountains of that stuff.
You ain't supposed to keep that stuff over 6 months.
You kept our shuttle longer than that. It worked fine.
Now, say it's not good when it gets old.
It worked.
Well, it crystallizes.
Or freezing, yeah.
Well, we keep it all. It's all in heated.
Yeah, that's true.
None of it's freezing. So.
What about any of these tractors they sitting out depth in them? Is that gonna freeze?
They'll freeze.
Yeah.
When it gets 20, 30 below.
Right.
But they're kind of made for that. They're made to handle that. Because they pump the lines out and the tanks are made with extra room for the shit to expand. It doesn't get hard like water.
So if you're running down the road, what's it gonna do to them?
Derate you.
Yeah.
These truckers can tell you all about how much fun that was. You go down the interstate, 30 below zero, goddamn depth tanks freeze up, and then the engine derates, and there you sit with a record call getting the goddamn truck off the highway. Some of this wonderful feel-good engineering that they came out of Washington.
Uncle Joe.
Well, it's long before Uncle Snow.
And no word on the Edward Jones count yet. I'll know in January.
Probably good news that we don't hear it.
Good news is no news, huh?
That DEF deal started back in probably the late 90s when they started talking about putting it on. came out on the trucks in '07, so that'd be even before Obama. That'd be active in Bush era, but it was started before him.
And that's all I have. Yeah, that's all I have.
Yeah, days like this, all one's gonna be hard to get any maintenance done.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then, but somebody said the old farmer's home, they said when it's snowy all in November, it's gonna be snowy all winter.
I believe that. Well, they claim from here on through Christmas it's gonna be cold and wet.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was hoping January would be like the last couple, so I'd get some field work done. That's gonna happen.
I think I won that bet. Somebody told me or bet me 2 drinks that we'd be farming in December. That was in November before Thanksgiving. I said I'll take that bet.
I don't remember it, but I don't remember much. I've seen too many years where it's got nasty in November, we got back in the fields in December.
Yeah, but I kind of felt it this year. I did anyway. I didn't feel like it was gonna break.
That'll be interesting. Stays this way till March.
And you got all your field work done?
10%, 20%.
I'm gonna say the grades are only following the trough. They didn't show anything coming from the building.
That's damn cold, I couldn't even run that tractor down and check out that
That's where it's.
drain down on the
Yeah,
70.
he's showing trough flow, but nothing existing.
Why?
Well, where we
Yeah, I mean,
fixed
that's
that
what I
house
saw.
this year, we were talking about putting a pipeline in,
There needs to be some arrows going
down to the
that
drain,
this direction.
natural drain, or rather. I didn't want to start a tractor, it's damn cold to
Yeah,
run the GPS and see what our elevations were.
right. I do what you mean.
Oh, and just this, I put that in your packets. It's just our CCR review that Willie and I had our audit from VOR.
Yeah, what is that all about?
They're just auditing us to make sure that we're not giving out more water than we're supposed to, or extending our boundaries.
Oh, ain't supposed to expand.
I know, can you believe it?
I see in one place here they're getting slap on our hands because we're letting all these farmers irrigate their gardens in their yard.
Yeah, they were gonna look into that. We haven't heard back from that. Have you, Willie?
No, yeah, grazing. I mean, if you have, see, the kind of the line is, if you have cows
It's gotta be
or
for
horses
agriculture.
and you buy hay, that's not classified as agriculture. If you cut your own hay, at least a portion of your property, and use that hay for your livestock, then you're classified as agriculture.
So water in
Yeah, what
people's
about
gardens,
they putting up hay
people's
for sale?
gardens and lawns, they eat their own produce, so therefore it's not agriculture. They're not selling it.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, but we putting up hay for sale. Is that considered
No,
agriculture?
No,
no.
you're growing. Well, you are because you're selling.
Okay.
What if I don't raise hay?
Then, and you have animals.
No, I got a animal.
You have a animal. Are you selling that a animal?
No.
There's the gray area right there.
Shed them off.
I think what they
I
were,
raised 200 acres of sugar beets in
Yeah.
there, but
Well, that's agriculture.
yeah.
I think what they didn't like was seeing that we are charging the $50 surplus for people that water their lawns and gardens. They didn't like that, and they said that's not what it's for. That's not agriculture.
Yep. And then the subdivisions though too, they feel that there should be an increased assessment value
Yep.
for subdivided pieces. Like you take a 40, split it, 4 ways, you got 10s. Those 10 should be paying more than 39 for that water service.
Do we do that?
Yeah, I think you could, BBWA,
According to them, yes.
they've got a landowner.
Wait a minute, do we pay that? We make them pay that, 40 is divided into 4s. 10 and 10. We had a problem up there with Huntley that our water couldn't go through this neighbor, so he could let that other neighbor.
Well, see, it turns into a civil issue. I mean,
Right.
from the main from the turnout in, it's their issue, civil issue. But if it's 10s, then they feel that we should be charging more per 10 than 39.
If they get it.
No. It's up to
No.
the subdivision. Whoever develops the subdivision has to put all that shit in there. We have no responsibility for getting.
I know, but even if they don't get the water, do we
Unless
still
they get
charge?
rid of their irrigated acres.
If they're using the irrigation water, is that what you mean? Like if a neighbor is providing the way,
No.
we
If
charge?
they don't get it.
They don't get it,
Oh, I
If
see.
they don't get it, they still have to pay.
unless they get rid of their irrigated
That's
acres.
what I was wondering.
Well, if they don't pay, they
But
don't get it.
the other side, but the other side of that was, I asked them, I said, okay, so if you're saying that, say this 10-acre piece is not agricultural because they don't have animals and they're not cutting hay and they're not selling anything off of it, then what do you do? And they said, well, then you deny water. And I said, yes, but you're still assessing them a taxable value
Exactly.
for that water. And she said, well, yeah, good point. I said, well, who's going to enforce that? So you can't have your water, but yet you're still going to have to pay your tax. Well, we'll have to look into that one. Yeah, well, you might want to.
And we
Because,
haven't
I mean, how are you
anything,
going to,
yeah.
you know, I mean, that's kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know, the hypocrisy of it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you're not agriculture, but you still have to pay your water tax. Kind of sense.
But, you go back to when this country was homesteaded, 90% that was produced was never sold off the farm. It was used on the farm just to keep people alive. They might have had 10% of the crop they could have sold, time to feed the horses and everything else.
I
They
mean,
didn't have shit left to sell.
Well, we're not using any more water than they gave us, you know?
exactly. That's
Well,
my
exactly,
point.
we're not over our 757 tests. Yeah, exactly.
That's my point. Whether they're 10-acre, 5-acre, growing their own garden for their own purposes, home use, it's still all on agricultural ground. It's still on ag ground. I mean, this whole project is agriculture ground.
They would have to reclass it if they, I mean, it's a web.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can say one thing, but then one contradicts the other, so.
Honestly, I think they kind of scratched a surface
They
they don't
did.
want. They realized real quickly they didn't want it.
Because no one's gonna police it.
No, oh, hell no. I mean, how?
What is it up on the High Line up there where everybody's got their sump pump stuck in the canal? They're getting their gardens.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah, they don't do that down there.
They're limited to a 2-inch section though, so they're
Yeah.
not getting much. I mean,
I know.
Yeah, but you take a dozen or two of them, you gotta have one.
Take the city of Billings
Yeah,
with all them guys. in the-
BBWA, yeah.
with the pumps in the canal.
I know the manager will sometimes goes down the ditch, just throws them out on the damn bank, lets them burn up while the people at work. Because they ain't paying for it.
That's being ornery.
Well, the problem is they ain't getting the water down at the end, and you got, these people ain't paying for it.
Could you imagine if we did that out here?
What's that?
The phone would never stop.
That's a
ringing.
whole different scenario though, how they deal with their water shares and all that stuff over there is completely, it's not just acre 39, whatever. You know, it's
No, they're by the acre.
they are, but what is the deal with that, this guy? The
By shares.
shares.
Our
Their
place-
shares. Yeah, they buy a share.
Like our place, we bought, when they first opened the district, we bought like 25 shares or something like that between the whole entire place. And then to pay for the employees to start the district, we bought another set of shares, so.
But you buy you buy your own head.
Yeah, we
you
buy our
your
own head geeks,
pay
we,
for your own
yeah.
maintenance, all that.
They charge a landowner fee of $100, I think, or something like that. No matter if you got 1 acre or 200 or 500.
You got ground over there, don't you?
I'll get about 350,
Yeah.
320. So. But, I'm wondering why we shouldn't be charging.
So this can go in the circular file.
Yeah.
Just about the answer.
The vault. The vault.
Right.
513.
I was often wondering we shouldn't be charging landowner fee too.
We talked about that a few months ago, having a minimum. Oh, yeah.
Can we do that? I mean, can we just,
Do that over water.
What, so $50 less than 1.2 acres, is that what that thing says?
yes, $50 for
And then
less than 1.2.
39 after 1 point? I mean,
Well, what they do at Shepherd,
Stay your little.
you got your acreage of your shares, and then every owner
Doesn't matter,
gets
I can't.
$100.
Well, I thought I
Bill.
was a meeting at the end of we'll have a little.
But they bill direct, they don't go through the county either.
Yeah.
But, you know, the guy with 1 acre, he pays 100 plus his water.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys get really crappy service and it's more expensive, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, our ditch blew out and we ended up just digging another ditch and taking it down to the bottom because we couldn't
Yeah.
get it fixed. We were underwater all summer.
I mean, the project gets really good service out here for what they're paying. I mean, typically if something goes wrong, we're on it pretty quickly.
And like the big one I see, we just going to like we are over there. It's just gonna end up running that shit because nobody wants to pay it.
I've heard that about Shepherd over
Okay, well, you're up.
We'll be taking applications still probably to the first of the year, and then we'll start doing some interviews. We had one more applicant come in and apply, and did.
Yep. Today.
So we have two.
He said he'll probably get that to you tomorrow.
Okay, so we have three to look at. I got the I guess the note for the union contract negotiations for January 10th. Joe did he have COVID? He was sick. So I guess talk to Sky if that date works in the afternoon.
Yep, January 10th. From,
What was it, 1 to 5?
Yep.
Kind of, Joe had that blocked out.
1 to 5. That would be especially for Dennis and Justin favors too.
Maintenance, not doing much, trying to get stuff put back together, trying to get the shop fixed and doors fixed and stuff that just kind of got left by the wayside. We need to get into the pump house, but until they're done, we ain't gonna get in there. So that'll be after the first of the year. We'll have to still pull pump number 1 apart and get the propeller out of there. The upgraded parts are at S&S. No word on that. They're not done. They're not ready, but they will be in the spring. Drains, really nothing to really say. I guess we discussed the issue over here, not issue, but warm water going under the drain over here, but that's not really going to be an issue. They're in the county right away and under county culvert. They'll be outside of the right-of-way distances for the most part, so they can get their angle to get to that depth. So, nothing going on there. This was just a note I put in there. We had Joey found a calf in the drain culvert over there by the infiltration gallery for Warden Water. One of Steve's calves slipped and fell in one of the 48-inch drain. Found it, saved it, so we went and put a cover on it.
Was that bolted down? Did you guys bolt that down?
They have a big lip, so it just fits tight. We just made sure to make them tight. And just
Yeah, she said those cows are knocking that thing off.
yeah. But it was right on the slope of that ditch, so
Can you call back later?
it wasn't a good scenario anyway for cows. Riverbank stabilization, discussed that with Scott. Monday, it sounds like that should be out to bid in the next couple weeks. When you get emails, Sandy, like that email that came the other day, just in question of still requesting items that haven't been submitted yet from an engineering standpoint, do you respond to any of those to him? Just kind of let him,
No.
because I don't get involved in that. It's just more of a mental note regarding the process. So
He forwards all that just so we know what's going on, but I don't get in the middle of that communication at all.
yeah, that one, neither do I in that. When a ball's being dropped, I just kind of watch it. conversation about the crane head. I think we talked about that. Let's see what's on the video from there. Pump house is not complete.
They get the door to latch.
The lock door, it's not fixed. It latches. I messed with it. But still, nothing's really wrapped. There's a lot of loose ends over there. Highway 312 project. There's a lot of culverts and stuff under that section. I definitely requested the replacement of lateral culverts coming under 312. Standard is 24 inch. The ones on lateral A, that one's 18 inch. That one's kind of restricted. One by Wybeck comes down and goes under. So I requested just upsizing those to their state crossing standard, which would be 24. So any lateral crossings, any sublateral crossings, I should say, from the Yellowstone River Bridge to Road 8 are going to be replaced with 24 inch minimum. But there's only 3. I mean, they're all Huntley way. I mean, once you get to B, you got main laterals.
Most of them on A.
Yeah, exactly. A's the real few down there, but there's a lot of drain culverts and stuff down there. I couldn't believe all the drainage and stuff that is going under 312 right there in that whole area from the bridge this way. So anything, they had questions in regards to removal or abandonment or anything, and I just said anything that you see that needs to replace that we don't know, which once they get further in there, we'll take a look at it again. They need to leave or replace it. No abandonments can be done. I mean, it was put there for a reason. So they're just going to replace everything that is under that road.
They're going to make a mess out of that highway, ain't they?
Yeah, they are.
Are they stationed at Oxbow?
Road 8.
Oh, they're not.
They're not going to.
Next half mile.
No.
Where are they going from Huntley down?
Huntley River Bridge.
To
To
8.
8.
Boy, if there's drains underneath there by the RDA, some of that's,
It's what?
some of that there at the RDA is what, 25, 30 foot down?
Yep. So they're going 8 foot each way, so they're going to extend to
That's
everything.
gonna close that damn road down for
Yeah.
3-4 days while they dig that.
Yeah. It'll be bypassed through.
There'll be some happy people over there in East Huntley.
No kidding.
Are they going to redo the road then?
Well, if they're gonna redo them, fix them pipes, they gotta take that damn
Or are they
pipe.
going to, like they did on 47 going to Hardin, are they going to redo the whole highway? Or not?
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much the whole. Yep.
that took a while.
Yeah, it's going to be a mess.
Oh,
That's not just thinking of that.
The why.
Well, they did the same thing going to St. Anne. Took them forever to get that done too.
Yeah, it's going to be, I don't know how many years.
Are they gonna leave the Y in?
Well, I talked about the why too. Well, the first issue that I brought up was the guardrail that they put there at the
Interchange.
bridge. That's that people pull out later now than they did before because you can't see the cars sitting there can't see through the guardrail to see the people. So they're going to make a note to the state about that
To get rid of that.
Do something. You got to do something. That ain't working. And then the why. They're not really planning on doing anything with the Y. I did voice concern on that. I said, even if it was a merge or a more of a gradual merge, or even, which would be inconvenient, where you would come up to that sign and it would be a hook, and then you would have a stop with like a T stop.
Oh, God, no.
I know, but I mean, I didn't propose that. I didn't plan that. But I just told him. I said, that's.
They need to have a turn lane in the center there
Something, yes.
and then have a merge on the other side down past Road 4
Yeah.
where the truck can take and get off the.
Yeah.
Make it a roundabout.
I don't know.
I like the roundabout. Everybody complains about it.
Well, that damn interstate will be fouled up next fall again.
Right.
Well, they're gonna do the other side of the interstate next summer.
Well, yeah, but we got that nice new bridge to go across now.
Yeah, but they won't allow you back on that damn, you won't be able to get on. At least you'll be going empty out to South Billings Boulevard to get back on there. See, this year you had to go loaded up to South Billings Boulevard, come back and get off
27th.
Yeah,
Lateral B is gonna be extended, so there's gonna be some work on that head gate, that's tied up against the road. That's probably gonna have to, we're gonna look at that later when they get designed in, because 8 foot basically encroaches on that head gate, so that's gonna be kind of a red flag area right there. And then,
that head
moving,
gate. That head gate could be moved and putting pipe underground, because basically it goes down on the other side of 3. Oh shit. Mess.
So that, and then the question was to the laterals running parallel to 312. They asked me what, as far as seepage and whatnot, and I said, there's really not a lot of water, showing up in the borrow pit unless it plugs a culvert or something. But any instance where their design encroaches on too close to a lateral or into the district's right of way, I propose the ditches be piped. So they're gonna put that into the works to where, because they feel that piping those parallel ditches to 312 is actually cheaper than going in there and moving them and repairing them and doing that. So I said, let's just figure everything piped. If it,
Nice.
crossing your fingers, this is all just a dream. But if that's the case, then that's what I said. Just pipe it all. And then moving east, no issues. A few little swale drain crossings, and then once you get to Custer Coulee is going to be a extended box culvert. It's kind of what we talked about. The old rail is going to be gone. It'll just be widened 8 feet box culvert, not downsized at all. We need to maintain our volume, when we need it, and guardrails. And then I proposed that when they do the demo on that they remove the Custer Coulee placards and give them to the museum. The old antique ones on there. So.
What's the timing on this project?
30% design right now. They're probably 2 to 3 years out to get started. So we're good.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
They're gonna get their design, and then when they get more to 60-75% design, then they will get in touch again, and then kind of we'll go over the specifics of the head gates or the ditches or the encroachment and things like that.
That way, a lot of that detour.
Yeah.
If they take it back the old 312 route, or the people on that northern, or that one street there in Huntley, it really love all that traffic going by there.
And then moving to Road 8, main C box, that'll get extended. They said, well, what would you like to do that? I said, we have so DOT or the state is concerned not necessarily with the inside the boundaries of Highway 312, they're concerned about the safety of the whole interaction from side roads and whatnot. So I said, well, Road 8, when you come down Road 8, there's a lot of wrecks there, that horse trailer, and over the years, people just run right into the box. I said, just put it all on the ground. So they're going to, I don't know to what extent they're going to look at the safety aspects of that, so gearing more towards in the design of extending that box culvert for Road 8 into 8 foot into that C box, and then also 8 foot into, the railroad side. And it seeps there when we check C box up and back up to the canal. That's how all that's regulated. I said, well, why don't you look at just putting the whole C box subgrade in some sort of design with gate valves and whatnot.
Why not just take it all the way to the canal and pipe?
Well, and we talked about that too, because I said when you back that up, you're having seep between 312 and the railroad tracks, and also you have seep building between the railroad tracks and railroad highway, all the way back. So that was the next thing that came up.
Yeah, it's about going to have to be piped back to the canal.
Yeah. And honestly, you get that far off of the project. Even if it was, a cost share type of thing to where, hey, we'll take care of here to here, the the district's interested.
The biggest problem is getting underneath the tracks.
Yes, correct. Yep.
But, you know, I'm just kind of wondering if we'd be better off with 3 head gates at the canal to where you could split your water right at the canal.
Let's move on.
Okay. So anyway, there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of work there. Anyway, that's where it is. So those are the things that are kind of at that. That was the next page was basically the Warden Water deal going under West Arrow Creek. Dump trucks are in. We looked at those. But the bushings are out in the front steer axles. The bushings are out in the springs in the front steer axle. So
They're doing all that work here.
we can't do the bushings.
Right.
Can you take springs in PVC?
Well, yeah. So we took the Volvo and that in to get it looked at Big Rig. They're out there. They're there right now. So basically, the things that they wrote down last year, the D-sol on the Volvo, he's going to plug it in and see if he can fix that because that thing don't run right. You can't. I mean, you have that thing mashed to the floor and you can't even do speed it. You know, I mean, it's just underpowered. It's just not D-sol. What would you call it? It's D-rated. D-rated. Yeah. D-rated. For some reason.
They got a Detroit in it or?
It's got a Cummins M11 in it.
Cummins M11.
So we'll see what happens there. We're going to stay in contact. I mean, those trucks we ran the crap out of those things this year. So, we got to get running. Lift station, I think we talked about that. Punch list items. Winch. Pump house stairs. That's pretty much all I got.
So with that, being said, this punch list here, we won't have to look at that until January now. They're gonna come with something then.
I don't know.
We hit them in the face with this winch.
It'll be either January or February.
Right.
Yep. Honestly, I don't even know if they're even gonna be prepared by January with what needs to be done down there. I mean, they're not gonna go down there in the snow plow. I mean, this would be June.
I don't know, they're gonna fix the grade and
Yeah.
pull the wood.
Exactly.
Again.
I know.
So it's pretty much gonna sit.
So I got a question, the tunnel, we got it covered on that?
Yeah, we did that a couple months ago.
And the other thing is, what do you wanna do about this NEMOC specifications? That's something
Yeah, we need to get to work on that.
Are the board gonna do it? Have you, I mean,
Just establish a depth standard. I mean, that's pretty much all of it.
And Scott said basically all we need to do is adopt it into our policy.
well, you know that letter we got from the, what was it, Ryan? I mean, did they get this letter? I mean,
Did they get what letter?
this letter that he gave us, I mean, that was so huge, and remember they were gonna go with
Oh,
it,
yeah.
and they never did?
No, because I mean it's kind of in the district's hands. We need to establish
I know that,
the
but-
standard.
We need to establish a new standard.
Yes, correct.
But what I liked in this letter was the liability.
Yes.
I mean, that, how they had it worded was very good.
We have no liability.
Not when their stuff's the tax dollars.
Not what's supposed to attach to.
At their expense, they have to move it.
That's what y'all discussed last meeting.
No, I mean, that's what I was hoping, that we get all that stuff drafted to figure out if we're missing anything.
So when is this project gonna happen? Do you know, Jen?
2 years? Did they say that all the lines would be done within 2 years, the fiber optic?
Well, they're starting even sooner down by Pompey's Pillar.
So we need to get
They
this done.
got a big $8 million grant, Project Telephone did, to put it in, and it covers down the Pompey's Pillar area, down in the Hardin area, the Fort Smith area. And so that's the first project they're gonna be working on. They don't have, and I'm not sure, if they're going to borrow money from RUS, all those plans have to be approved by RUS, including the right-of-ways. And so that's a whole process, part of the planning that has to go through, because RUS takes a lien on the project. And at that point, if there's any problem, RUS is the one you have to deal with once they approve the project.
Who's RUN?
Rural Utility Services.
Okay.
And that's both telephone and electric co-ops borrow money for the same things.
Well, are they gonna come to us to present their plan? Or
Well,
they
once
just-
they get plans approved by RUS, because that's the first thing they have to do, because if they can't get the financing or get some grant.
Well, we gotta get our stuff done
Yeah.
before they can
Right,
even
we
do
need to
that.
say so before it's too late.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we need to say we want 8 foot down or 6 foot down, 12 foot
well, I'm not
size.
so sure that it's that easy. That, because I still have to, I'm gonna talk to Ryan Newman. I think that they may have to publish this in the Federal Register, because there's so many stakeholders involved here that they all get input when we want to go down to a certain depth. They all get to contest that. And so you have AT&T, you have Mid Rivers, Vision Net. So you have a number of them besides.
They can contest what we want.
Yep, they have that right.
Scott said that most of the ones in the past, was it 6 feet? He said was pretty standard.
Yeah,
Yeah, that there are some standards out there, and I think if we start deviating too far from them, we're going to get pushback.
Yeah. I mean, if we're asking for 12 feet depths, yeah, I think.
Well, I'd say 6 or 8 feet down and 12 feet to the side.
well, if they're gonna get the permitting and stuff in this whole scenario, they're gonna have to follow the standards set in place. Right, I mean, with your talking to them, Dennis, I mean, they're gonna look at that 42 to 48 that the Bureau states under right-of-ways, and they're gonna be more liable to hold to that than to something like 6 feet or 8 foot that's
Yeah,
proposed by the
that's probably what's
district.
going to happen. You don't know until you talk.
Yeah, yeah. So I see the point. It's gonna be harder to reestablish a depth over and above what the standard is already set by the Bureau or whoever in whatever right-of-way it is. You know, so, but I mean, it's worth a try.
But didn't they tell us that we could set any standard we wanted?
Scott did.
You can, but
Well,
So did
I'm not
Ryan.
so sure
So
that
did Ryan.
Ryan is right on that. I think that Ryan Newman's given us some bad information, because I don't think they have gotten an opinion from the solicitor's office that we can do that.
Well, if we set any standard we wanted to, and like you said, if they can come back and contest it,
Yeah.
that throws this right out the window. They'll go right back to the standard.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So
that's
we gotta
why-
be realistic when we set our standards.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't want to get in have everybody in here protesting it when there's standards out there. So why do we want to reinvent the wheel?
Well, the big thing is, I guess, we don't want the liability of hitting something because
Well, it's all the new boxes that are gonna go up.
What's that now?
You know, where the boxes end up.
Yeah,
I mean, that's our killer, is that the machines can't get through.
which end too, you know what's gonna happen too when this 312 project, most of the boxes that are in the middle of the 2-track in the right-of-way are running parallel to 312. And when they take that 8 foot of right-of-way, that's gonna be now shoulder, that's gonna make it impassable for the district to run those O&M roads parallel to 312.
well,
Because some of those boxes are dead center right now. We go around them, like Road 5. You go around it,
Yeah.
and it's basically gonna encroach that shoulder right in there.
encroaching our right of way.
Well, it's gonna be on the edge of the right of way, but right now we drive off of our right of way onto state right of way, which in turn is gonna be the shoulder of the road after this project's done,
Uh-huh.
to get around the box to get onto the ditch to the head gate of the check.
Then when they go in to put in again, they've got to stay out of the state right of way.
Well, see, then yes, exactly. What that's gonna do is then where do you go?
They're gonna have to go
well,
on
you
the
have a
side of the
right of way
ditch.
on each side of the
Yep.
ditch.
Yep.
That we
So
may
if
have
it
to
would,
go on the other side rather
Yep.
than in the utility corridor.
exactly.
The utilities may have to go on the other side.
No, it's
We
our
will.
right of way on the other side. Utility,
But they're gonna encroach on us.
But that doesn't work in all those scenarios to be able to drive on that opposite side of the right of way.
That's a fact.
That would constitute culvert crossing crossings and,
For example, you got a lot of areas where we don't have a right of way where those risers are. We don't have a right of way. And the highway's got the right of way.
Yeah.
And so that's where Mid Rivers, when they got their approval, you know, they go some places where they're on a highway right of way, other places it's a direct right of way. And that's where this thing gets pretty confusing. Whose right of way are you on? Because we can't dictate on the highway right of way because we don't have, we don't have a right of way.
That's 6 feet from the invert. It has to be.
6 feet below or 6 feet to the side?
6 feet below the invert. Below
The bottom of the ditch.
Yes, yeah. Bottom of the ditch, bottom of the hole.
Yeah.
And I mean, nothing was even said to Great West on this engineering deal over here when they did the Warden Water 6-inch water line under there. That's what Crystal put in the plan was 6.5 feet under invert of ditch. And I didn't have that conversation with her before she put that in the plan. So wherever she got that standard, that's what she did.
Might ask.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's a good thing that, I mean, you got an engineering firm that is
You
going
might
to 6 to
ask her
6.5
where she'd
feet.
come up with that.
It's probably, you know.
That might be just what, though, that might be water for frost.
Well, it could be anything. It could be an overlay, it could be frost, it could be, you know, there could be a
It's
lot
the
of things.
municipality easement
Yeah.
for 6.5 feet for the state of Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, I think we should.
That's a minimum
Start just to
Well,
see.
yeah, we're 2 to 3 years out, is what Dennis is saying.
But the
But
problem is,
if we
they,
prolong it any further, you know, we just will make a standard and go with it.
Well, I wonder, do we give?
the problem is they've got to know what they're gonna shoot for.
Yeah, they're going out for bid on this. It's all contract work.
Yeah, but they've got to know what they've got to deal with.
State the
Before they
distances
even-
on the
That's what I say, we
record.
better get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get it done.
that's what I'm saying. We need to come up with something, have Scott look through it,
That's what I just
get
said.
it approved, yeah.
Y'all want to do that tonight, or do you want to do it next month, or a different meeting entirely?
We probably should have Scott here when we discuss this.
Yeah,
Okay, so maybe in January or February.
sounds good. That's 6 feet. Should be plenty, shouldn't it?
Yeah, 6 feet would be fine.
Still, the question, would we want to invite, God forbid, project and then we come
No.
listen to the,
Establish the depth and then that's the depth.
Yeah. Within reason.
Yeah.
I think make it reasonable so that nobody squawks at it.
Yeah, can't kick it back in.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess my perspective would be, as far as pipe and culvert crossings, you know, you're looking at 42 to 48 inch standard. If you have to do a 2 foot overdig based on an installation in wet ground, you're gonna go 6 feet, you know, or whatever. You're gonna put in 2 foot fill back, whether it's pit run or, you know, engineered fill, structural fill, and then you're gonna go back to your invert, you know, so 6 feet is kind of, it isn't out of line. I mean, they're boring. I talked to them over there. I said, so does that make a big difference when you bore 4 foot or 6 foot? It's like, no, it's just a matter of the trench that you dig when you start your bore. So as long as they're far enough back, they can do a 4 foot trench and end up at 6 feet, 12 foot down the line.
well, that's the thing, you know, they've got to go 4 or 6 feet underneath their ditch. Are they boring or are they digging?
I guess that's up to them. If they own a boring machine, they'd bore it. If they dig it, they gotta dig it. Boring would be preferable.
Most contractors, that they use bore.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you don't want them digging because, goddamn, they don't do the good backfill and all of a sudden that floods somebody's house or.
Well, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be able to do it during water season, so then you're limited to the winter time when the water's out and what happens, you know?
Well, you know, it's like west or up there on Grand and 24th area one time. Started irrigating there where it hadn't been irrigated for a few years. Telephone company went through our ditch and didn't re-pack the dirt when they put it back in. Well, somebody had an indoor swimming pool and exported. That was all on the telephone company because it was their line.
But they were happy.
Oh, boy. Well, I was happy it wasn't us.
Not the only one.
Down in Huntley area. Strobies, where Watson.
Oh,
I've got a question for you, Dennis.
Yeah.
On that, you know where the projects, you wanna own the project, have they ever come up with numbers for like appraisal or valuation? Because isn't that the huge fee we'd have to pay? Is that where the big expense is for a project to own?
No, because what did we decide we still owed on construction cost?
It's about 85,000.
Well, I thought we had to get evaluated.
No.
We just have to have all the construction charges paid back to the government before we can do
But
it.
since we're paying for all the O&M charges already, and we own our own equipment that we work on it, that there's really no other cost.
Well, I guess more of this than making an evaluation is to survey what we own.
Well, they'd have to provide that to us.
Oh.
That's one of the things you get. You get all this stack of paperwork that shows where all the drains are, where all the right-of-ways are that the BUREC has, because they have to make a title transfer. You put it in our name.
And Scott said that many are doing it.
There are a lot of, I'm going to do a search, I see more all the time. They're going that route.
getting rid of it.
BUREC out.
The reason why is probably because part of that damn water deal years ago where he's limited on how many acres you could farm
Yeah.
if it had construction still on it. See, about a third of this project has still got construction on it, or a fourth.
I'm not sure what the area is that still has.
Well, I know some of Clarescable's got some.
It's random.
It's
One
scattered
piece
all
there,
over.
Yeah,
one
well,
piece
that's
there,
the
one
thing.
piece there is
I
paid
think
off.
Nadine Shepherd's might have a nickel or two's worth on it, but
And
I think it was
that's
like $60
yeah,
or something.
their taxes on that. It's the HUSG. If you see it on your tax bill.
Yeah.
Some people are paying like 18 cents twice a year.
Yeah,
Their balance on their construction charges might be $106. They just don't know that. They pay it off.
yeah.
But they don't know their balances on
But,
it.
the only place that really runs, the value of the money's went downhill so fast. And that's probably one of them 1% loans.
But,
or 0%.
if you think about it too, if we come out from underneath BOR, just like the issue we were just talking about, them fussing with us about providing water that they don't feel like is agriculture, that would be null and void. We could do what we wanted
But
to.
you're still under the Bureau's water right though.
Yeah.
See, you're still under the right, and what's the
We're
rule
still
and
under the
regulations
750.
under their right? Exactly. So they're still
Can't
going
take
to be
950.
involved in regards to the water that you're using. You just don't have the construction charges or the dictation of the right of ways.
Right.
You're
What
still
about
at
the
their
audits
mercy
like the
for water.
CCR?
I don't know that much. I mean,
I-
it's just because you're still using their water. So I mean, it's not getting the Bureau completely out of the scenario.
How is that? It's our water right. It's Huntley Project
It's our right,
Irrigation
but
District
it's
water.
issued by the Bureau. Maybe there's something that you see. It's still. I mean, I don't think they're just going to give the. I mean, they gave the district the water right, 750 CFS drop from the river. But it's still the Bureau's water. They're still the ones that run the water.
I see what you're
So I don't know if you can get that away from them or not. I don't know.
I'd be curious
I
to
mean,
see.
that's the
They
state
over
water.
everything.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's their.
We can get it away from them. If we pay our construction charges off and buy them out, we're done with it.
I mean,
but from a standpoint, I believe as far as the right of ways and the RRA and the dictation of that part, but as far as still getting the water under that water right, there's more to it than that.
Well, I think they've transferred over from what I've read with other districts.
No one rights transferred to
The
us.
BOR doesn't own that water, the state of Montana does.
Yeah.
Or, well, the Army Corps of Engineers.
Yeah, however that would work as far as your water, I mean, they're going to still
The Corps is the one that did it. claim they own the river. That keeps it a lot more land.
They own the river, but the water is.
Kinda like the roads.
Are we done here?
Yes, I think so.
Anybody got any other issues? Yes, I shall